All right, another day, and gonna do a few things to this 450 SL today. I've already decided to rip the interior out, so this is the first thing this morning. I'm actually quite pleased to find that the floors are solid. There's no rot. Obviously there is surface rust here, and I think if you watched some of the other videos you probably saw that the hardtop seals are leaking, so there was some water on the floor. So that's no big deal. We'll wire brush that out. Gonna coat the whole floor with some bed liner type material, roll on, so we can do the whole thing, and then we'll start putting the new interior in. I do not like this blue, so I'm going to be changing that interior to a medium gray, and I have back seats for it already that are medium gray. I think the car is probably still going to remain silver when I eventually get it painted, but the door that I got to replace this door due to that dent is actually gray, not silver but gray. Not that it matters, but I think I'm going to keep the car silver and the interior will be gray. So I've already taken the seats out. I was thinking about getting brand new seats, some aftermarkets, nice comfortable recliners, manual seats, but as you'll see in a moment, the seats that come out of these cars are non-traditional, and what I mean by that is instead of bolting to the floor like most cars, there are no bolt holes here. They actually bolt to the sides of the body. So I thought, well, that's no problem, we'll just leave the brackets there and mount the seats to the brackets. But then I found out that by taking these seats out, the brackets are part of the seats. They do not separate, they're actually welded. The only thing that separates are the sliding tracks, so that's not going to work. So we'll take a look at what we got. Okay, for 1974, these seats are not actually in that bad a shape, except for the headrests, which are absolutely demolished. They have just disintegrated to the point where there's nothing inside and it's all rusty. That's no good. So we're going to pull these headrests right out. Obviously sagging, torn here, and as I mentioned, these black sliders, those actually slide off. Those are the tracks to move the seat forward and back, but the seats themselves do not have traditional brackets. You can see here that the brackets are all part of the seat frame, so I guess we're kind of stuck with these seats unless we want to do a whole lot of work. So I'm going to get some Iggy seat covers, which basically look like upholstery. They're the most amazing seat covers I've ever owned. I've had them in several vehicles. They're out of California, made in USA. I can't say enough about them. I think they're still about $179 a pair. And once they're on here, you wouldn't know it's not new upholstery, although I'm going to get gray instead of blue. So that's the route I'm going to take so I can maintain these seats. I'll just have to replace the headrests. Another nice day outside, guys. So today we're gonna do a little bit more to the bends. I think some of the easy stuff here is gonna replace those blinkers or turn signals. You can see a cracked one on the passenger side, and there's a missing one on the driver's side, and down below there is some sort of an air dam or what have you that's cracked and broken. I'm going to remove that, and the fog lights are missing from this car, so I have a set that I'm thinking will work. They're brand new, they look very similar to the OE, so I'm going to try them and see how well they work, and if I don't like them I can always change them. But over there you see the original seats, and the headrests, as I showed you before, were absolute junk, and I don't know how I got so lucky, but I had a set of headrests that came out of this Toyota Highlander. I had gotten some Iggy seat covers from them, and there they are in the gray, but the headrests in this car I had swapped out for some video screens. They're actually complete video headrests that I purchased. So I had the headrest out of this car, and therefore had the Iggy seat cover gray leather covers. So those headrests were in the basement, and would you believe that they fit perfectly in these seats, And since I'm getting Iggy gray seat covers anyway for these seats, those headrests will match perfectly. And of all the things that could be different about these headrests, the bars that fit into the headrests are exactly the same diameter as the Mercedes, and the distance apart is exactly the same as well, and therefore fit perfectly in those seats. So I guess I'll be using those. All right, so I just got through taking off all the broken parts. As you can see here on the ground, they've been broken for quite some time. They actually had them like zip tied to hold them in place, but just removed all those. The metal piece in the middle here is okay. All the plastic is damaged. And I took off the broken side marker, blinker, turn signal, what have you, on the passenger side. And I had a couple of replacements I bought. I bought brand new lenses for the lights, and I installed those, so that's good. But I just realized while I have the headlight assembly apart where I had to plug in the turn signal, I also have these new H4 style headlights that I'm going to be installing. I thought these were pretty cool. They have, you can see at the bottom there are 5 little LED amber lights in addition to an H4 replaceable bulb, as opposed to the original halogen sealed beam unit that has to be replaced. You can just replace the bulb in these lights, and of course, being the H4 style modern lights as opposed to the original halogen style, they're much brighter and more white than yellow. I like the built-in LED turn signals as well, so in addition to these turn signals on the front, I can tie those turn signals in and those will blink, and you can use them as park lights. They have 2 beams, low and high. So anyway, I'm going to do that now, and once I have it buttoned up with new lights on, I'll give you another shot. See you soon. Alright, so I've got the new turn signals on there and new headlights as well. Subtly different than the stock ones, if you can see those LEDs in the bottom. But they're nice clear glass lenses, brand new lenses on the turn signals, so I think that looks pretty good. And anytime you can get rid of any broken parts like all that plastic, it just looks better just having been removed. Yeah, I'll replace the air dam when I'm able to get a replacement, but for now it looks much better than having the broken pieces on there. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this aftermarket set of fog lamps. I'm going to mount those in the stock locations on the bumper, make it look a little more factory, but once again going for more or less a Resto-Mod on this. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to look good, it has to be functional, and maybe a touch of modern flair, so it should work out well. I'll have you take a peek in just a minute. Alright, back again, and the fog lights are now installed. So we've got new headlights, new turn signals, and new fog lights, and it's starting to look like something. Definitely sharpened up the front of this car. There's a long way to go with this car before I get it off the paint. Still gotta replace that driver's door, do a little bit of body work around it, but today was good. Just getting those broken parts off and replacing some lights. Ask me what I think. I like it. Fog lights, they are not factory, but they're in the factory locations, and I'm not going for $30,000 or $40,000 restoration here. I'm going for practicality and a fun summer cruiser. So $20 for a pair of aftermarket fog lights as opposed to $300 or $400 or more for genuine Mercedes. I'll take the $20 fog lights any day. That's me. Headlights, factory headlights were just about the same price as what I paid for these. I really like these, the H4 bulb, replaceable bulb headlights with the 5 LED turn signals built in with glass lenses. I only paid $20 a piece for these after discounts and everything else that I got off, I believe it was Amazon or eBay. But they fit well and they look good, and they're glass, not plastic. A little more modern, even though they're still the quad headlights. The LEDs add a little bit of flair. So I like it. So I just got to finish putting the new Iggy seat covers on the seats, and now they look a whole lot better in my opinion. I know a lot of Mercedes enthusiasts are going to be upset because I covered the original seats with seat covers, but they are seat covers, they're not upholstery. The seats were in tough shape, and now they have a nice new leatherette look, and they're nice and clean, and still the original seats. So I'm quite pleased with them, and these are going in the 450 SL. I think today this car needs a new door. Gonna get rid of that big old dent and probably salvage the molding off the door, but take the handle out so we have a matching key, and eventually it'll be repainted so it'll all be one color, but for now at least it'll be dent free. See you soon. Boom, and just like that we have a new door. So no, it's not the right color. I don't care because the car is going to be completely repainted, so at least now we don't have a dented door. And I do have to transfer the mirror over, and I've got to reconnect the window regulator to raise the window, but it is all installed and fits really well, so I'm pretty pleased with that, and we're done. Take care.